Girl returned home from grocery shopping to find the door wide open. In the living room, a strange man was standing there. She mistakenly thought he was a thief and rushed into the room. When the CEO turned around, she froze in shock. Failing to stop herself, she stumbled and fell, pulling down the CEO's pants in the process. To avoid embarrassment, she quickly tried to help him pull up his pants. But in doing so, she lost her balance again, accidentally pinning the CEO onto the couch. They ended up in an awkward kiss, mouth to mouth. This made the situation even more awkward. Although the two were married, they barely knew each other. The girl was actually a new police officer on her first job. That day, she received an assignment to meet a colleague at the Civil Affairs Bureau. Unexpectedly, just as she arrived at the bureau entrance, the CEO, who was there to register for marriage, mistook her as his bride. He even told her she was 3 minutes late. This phrase happened to be the code her supervisor gave her to identify her contact. Believing the CEO was her colleague, she followed him inside the bureau. As soon as they entered, the CEO began the marriage registration process. The girl didn't think twice, assuming they were just pretending to deceive a criminal. Even when she saw the red banner and professional photographer on the wall, she didn't question it. Instead, she thought the act was very realistic. The CEO was completely unaware of the misunderstanding. So, they ended up getting a marriage certificate, both oblivious. However, when he saw her name on the certificate, the CEO realized something was wrong. He quickly called his grandmother to ask for the name of his actual bride. He then learned that his intended bride's surname was Gua, not Song. Only then did the CEO realize they had married the wrong person. He immediately requested a divorce. Just as the girl was completely bewildered, the staff informed the CEO that he would need to wait a month before filing for divorce. The girl couldn't believe she'd accidentally gotten married during work, mistaking her contact for a criminal in the process. To keep up the ruse, she leaned into the CEO, pretending to be close to him. The CEO was startled and tried to push her away. The girl had to explain that she was on duty, and that the man outside was her target. She asked the CEO to cooperate with her, but the CEO didn't believe her, insisting that she was putting on an act. He turned the tables and questioned her intentions. Left with no choice, the girl showed him her work ID. Only then did the CEO realize it was all a misunderstanding. Then, the girl asked for the CEO's phone, and saved her number in his contacts. She told him to call her in a month to proceed with the divorce. Before he could react, she had disappeared. The CEO then called his assistant, and instructed him to investigate everything about the girl. At this point, his grandmother arrived, demanding that he divorce the girl, and marry the partner she had chosen for him. Since she had already tested the chosen girl's character by pretending to be a poor old woman, she was confident her choice was a good woman. Little did she know that her choice had seen through her disguise, and only pretended to be kind to her while actually disdaining her. While she could deceive the grandmother, she couldn't deceive the CEO, who had already investigated her and knew she was a gold digger. By contrast, the girl he accidentally married seemed to be a person of good character. The girl had been raised by her grandfather after her parents had died on duty. Her grandfather, who didn't have much time left, asked her to promise him 2 things. First, to leave her job in the police force, since her parents both died in the line of duty, and he didn't want her in such a dangerous profession. She fulfilled this first request, but the second was much harder. Her grandfather wanted her to marry someone who truly cared for her. She had no idea where to find such a person, especially since she was already married. She needed to divorce first. After thinking it over, she couldn't even remember her husband's name. Meanwhile, the CEO's assistant suggested he try to get to know her. So, the CEO called her, but she dismissed his call, thinking it was harassment. Unwilling to give up, he called her again.